US GDP numbers here in about 1 minute. So let's pop on over here and let's check out the DXY index, which is the currency index for the US dollar, and see how it performs. Oh. What happened to my little screeno? Oh, it just up and vanished. There we go. And I'll hide myself here, so we have a... Cool. And I'll turn on the Financial Juice audio. 10 seconds, guys.
Ten seconds. Two spot 1%, 2 spot 1%.
Lower GDP.
Forecast, 2 spot 4%. The wholesale inventory is month over month advanced minus 0 spot 1%, minus 0 spot 1%. That's higher than forecast, minus 0 spot 3%. GDP price index 2%, 2%. Lower than forecast, 2 spot 2%. Core PCE prices prelim at 3 spot 7%, 3 spot 7%. Lower than forecast, 3 spot 8%. Retail inventories ex auto advanced minus 0 spot 1%, minus 0 spot 1%. The advanced good trade balance printing a deficit of 91.18 billion, which is lower than forecast, yes, minus 90 billion.
A little lower. Come on, give it. Give it.
So looking to these markets here, seeing the S&P 500 strengthen, dollar seeing some weakness here. They're still waiting on this GDP deflator number.
I am currently looking for markets that are going to these peaks in their distributions. New Zealand seems to be getting close there. Australia seems to be quite close to there. I'll turn on the face cam again.
Again, we are waiting on this GDP deflator and the PCE prices prelim. Again, seeing the S&P 500 seeing some strength there and the dollar seeing some weakness. The second estimate for US GDP quarter over quarter, lower than expected at 2 spot 1% on the forecast of 2 spot 4.
Alrighty.
So seeing US prices, US PCE prices prelim at 2 spot 5%, 2 spot 5%.
Canadian dollar is not moving as much as I hoped it would move. Pound dollar is the clear winner here on the dollar side of things. I'll go ahead and bring that up real quick. And you can just very quickly see here. That is a very strong pound. That is a very strong pound yen. And pound is a little wrecking ball here right now. And then following that up with New Zealand. New Zealand yen had such a good spot, I think. Aussie yen, I think, also at a decent spot.
Treasury 2-year yields are extending their fall following that GDP print as well. Last down around 2.1 basis points. GDP deflator out now at 2%, 2% as well.
Yep, quite a neat little volatile day.
According to the Dixie, its session lows now around 103.215. And the US GDP Q2 second estimate report now available on the feed.
If my memory serves me right, that is just past the hedge eye risk range for low end here. So there's going to be some people getting little notifications in their inbox saying, hey, you got the dollar at low end of the risk range when they're bullish on it. Damn. This all looks so good right now. I'm trying to figure out.
So US Treasury 10-year yield slips after the US GDP data as well. Last flat at around 4.121%.
Let's check out these odds on the day. Wow. Pound dollar. Did it top out for the day today? Did it. Let's see here. Anything else? We still got the euro dollar there. A nice little pop. Quick little refresh. Let's use a 2 hour. Oh, yeah. That looks like a spot for me. On the day, it looks like a decent spot, but that also would have been a pretty good spot too to take a shot on the long side if you wanted to. Let's see here. Let's check out the rest of these. Oop. Want to keep that on. Just want to lock it. Yep, that did stop. And that was...
So again, just noting the inflation reads in this GDP report, the GDP price index dropping to 2% from 2.2%. The deflator as well dropped to 2% from the prior read of 2.2% as well. Again, I did see some strength in the S&P. It's a positive up around 0.1% now.
Yep. And the Aussie hit a likely top on the day. Let's see. New Zealand also tapped a likely top on the day here too. Good buys here on the downside. And China, dollar weakening a bit against China, which is a good sign. But you can see it's kind of looking back up here. Yep. And I gotta make a little post in the trade group.
Curve, the US Treasury's 2 and 10-year curve narrows its inversion following that data. Last at minus 74.1 basis points.
And bring up the yield spreads. Oh, and I'll let you up here, Isaac. Let's see. Good to see you on this morning. Good to see you on this morning. Let's see here.
We have posted out the US Advanced Economic Indicators report as well for July of 2023.
So I got a day trade up here on the short side. So I actually took this shot here. And we'll see how well it does. Just gotta set up 2 more things here.
This stream is sponsored by TickStrike. TickStrike allows you to actually hear order flow in futures, forex, and stock instruments. Get a free trial at TickStrike.
All right. So, quick little summary. US GDP came out much lower than estimated, about 30 basis points, 0.3% lower than anticipated. This is indicating that the US economy is slowing down. ADP employment change also is lower. Advanced goods trade is also lower. US PCE prices preliminary came in lower, and retail inventories, excluding auto, also came in lower. So all this is not good. All this, in my opinion, indicates that the US economy is slowing down, and when the US economy has signs of slowing down, well, you would think that would make the US dollar weaker, and that's what we got right now. Because on a rate of change relative basis, we haven't received the numbers from the other countries yet. So if you wanted to say, okay, the United States should get weaker from here, sure, but for how long do you anticipate it to continue staying weak? Probably for not that long, because as soon as we get the European inflation numbers, as soon as we get European GDP, as soon as we get the ECB rate hike, or if we don't get it, there's a lot more uncertainty going on in Europe, and right now, the people in Europe that are doing any sort of trading are just taking advantage of the time difference between when the European data comes out like crap and this crap US data. So they're just taking advantage of this time gap between having the latest crap European data and having just got crap US data. So guys like me, though, can see the writing on the wall. A lot of people can see the writing on the wall. In fact, I'm going to go ahead. Let's see here. Financial juice real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I think it's this one. Dollar bulls look forward to their favorite month of the year. Biases for more dollar outperformance. Nabs Catril says market is positioned for dollar gains next month. Options show. Not only has the Bloomberg Dollar Index risen every September since 2017, but it's an average gain of 1.2% in that month. And that also beats the performance of any other month during the same period. Yeah. Let's see here. The month of September tends to be good for the dollar, and the usual explanation is that risk aversion tends to rear its ugly head, and this is boosting demand for high-yielding safe haven king of the G10FX. Said the head of Group of 10 Foreign Exchange Research, so head of G10 Global Exchange Research and Strategy at Credit Agricole CIB at London. Alrighty. And then we have hawkish Fed. The bias, of course, will be for the dollar to probably continue to outperform near term, given the growth and economic performance advantage, said Rodrigo Catril, a currency strategist at the National Australia Bank in Sydney. It looks like all the ingredients, at least in the near term, favor a higher dollar from here. Man, does that line up with the Westpac outlook saying, yeah, we don't like our outlook for New Zealand or for Australia going forward. Yet, you go ahead and you load up the chart and you're like, oh, wow, look at that big green candle. Oh man, should I be buying the US dollar right now? Look at these big green candles, not understanding that we've fallen so much from here, and the future economic outlook, the expectation is for more shit to hit the fan. Like, this is not good. The future outlook here is not good. Now, short term, for the day or whatnot, seems like we are going to continue getting some dollar weakness. But Lord, if you read any sort of anything, everybody is talking about how they're trying to. Everyone is talking about how they're trying to fade and get long the dollar in any sort of fashion going into the next month. Like, look at these guys. And then Westpac and Wells Fargo, Citi, everyone has an opinion on it. I got some other things on the research side here. Specifically, the headline for this stream, Idalia weakens slightly to Category 3, which is good. It was upgraded to a Cat 4 not that long ago. So it'll be the first major hurricane to strike Florida since last September. That's when Hurricane Ian struck the western part of the state as a Cat 4, killing 150 people. And now it looks like the Cat 4 call for Idalia has been taken away, which is good news. We want that thing to die down. We want everyone in Florida to be safe. You can see there the headline was Idalia got upgraded to 4, and now it's moved slightly back into Cat 3. All very, very, very good news. It's still going to be extremely dangerous, though. So please, if you're in Florida, I mean, you're probably not watching this. You're probably evacuating if you're going to be impacted by that. And in other news, oh boy, in other news, guys, are you ready to send American citizens? Are you ready to send another $250 million to Ukraine? Yeah, guys, guess what? This morning, Biden announced he's going to send another $250 billion worth of military, not billion, dollars worth of military equipment to Ukraine. He's going to send some missiles. He's going to send some artillery. He's going to send some rockets. He's going to send 3 million rounds of ammunition. Yeah, and he's going to send stuff for vehicles. Yeah. Great. Thanks, Brandon. All right. Also, we got some updates on some policy out of the Fed. This stuff can get a little bit more boring, but this has direct ties to the collapse of, SVB and First Bank. Like when those large three banks collapsed a while ago, these requirements are now getting a little more strict. So these are some updates saying, hey, you probably got to hold some longer dated assets in more significant size. So the Federal Reserve pretty soon, if these facilities go online and these regulations go online, large banks would effectively be forced to acquire several billions of dollars worth of long-term debt, of long-term treasuries. Yeah. So that is definitely a risk. Comment for proposal is by November 30th, so it'll be interesting to see what institutions have to say about this policy exactly. And what's this? Oh, yeah. Every time you get an email from a central bank, you always wonder, I wonder what they're researching. Well, today, the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago sent out a little how-to on how to do micro forecasting for inflation. Look at this stuff. They give you the formula. They explain the whole methodology. It's not even that long, and they actually do something kind of smart there. And, man, if you only needed more news out of Australia, why is it like everything that I get in my inbox talks about how people in Australia are just struggling and struggling and struggling? It used to be that was what was going on with New Zealand. Like, dude, I don't know, a month ago, everyone was talking about NZD, USD. Everyone was talking about how New Zealand was getting hit so hard. I mean, look at it. It's going right into my face here. Let me go ahead and hide myself real quick. Just look at that horrible ride here. So, yeah, people are, banging and screaming about, oh my God, it's the end of New Zealand. And, of course not. It's not the end of New Zealand. But now people in Australia are getting a lot of ants in their pants because they're in a very similar situation. And New Zealand's economic dependence, depends on China, and China ain't stimulating their economy enough to actually make a dent in the growth forecasts. Let's see here. T-bond long rate change. Yeah, I mean, I got an indicator for that. U.S. yield differentials. So literally you can view the spread of U.S. yield differentials over different time horizons right here. And net on the day, it's still pretty darn negative for Australia. Let's go check out New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar actually has a nice little positive bump right here on the yield differential side. I could see New Zealand dollar actually. I mean, I think if I look at the Aussie New Zealand cross, that it'll probably be down, right? AUD and ZD. We go ahead and we check out the cross. Yeah, check that out. It's down. At least down on the day and down compared to yesterday. My forecast from last week was up, and it's been right up until, I'd say, yesterday. But you can clearly see how the yield differentials are super negative. They've been negative this whole ride up, and it's been a move to fade. So, yeah, that doesn't look so hot on the cross side of things. Let's see. Any of you guys got requests? Go ahead and do a quick take here and see who's hanging out in. Oh, you want me to accept it again, Isaac? Yeah, it was smart to go risk off. Let's see here. Accept again. All right. Coolio, Leo. Let's see here. So, yeah. Australia getting kicked in the balls. Our final 25 rate hike, 25 basis point rate hike call comes in Q4. It's hanging on by a thread, so they might not hike at all. The RBA has stated that it is kind of hanging on by a thread. ES and NA or NQ, gotcha. The S&P, nice little rally out of things from yesterday. It hasn't moved too much. Your low for the day is probably in, but I'd say a move below today's low probably puts you around 44.6, puts you in the 44.60s on any lower low move here. And you can see on the S&P that this move is getting faded. Bitcoin. All right, cool. We'll do NASDAQ and then we'll do Bitcoin. And yeah, NASDAQ's in the same situation as the here on ZOBS. There is one more thing I want us to check out, which is this geopolitical article on Germany. This is actually quite helpful to read about kind of what's going on internally. Because, guys, watching the rise of the ADF is kind of going to be an important thing going into the future. And if you don't know the macroeconomic policies of the ADF, you're going to get screwed and surprised by when they actually change policy if they get elected into more seats of power. So you got to be watching geopolitics in order to not get surprised by that kind of stuff. So let's see here. Bitcoin. Man, now I got Bitcoin down here at the bottom of my watch list. Yeah, everyone and their mama either caught along in like the middle of this bar somewhere here just below 27K. Either they were on it or right away really quick, and they got another 500, 600, 800 buck move out of it that they were able to profit from, or well, now they're starting to fade. A lot of traders I know who trade Bitcoin are fading this move because they have the same expectations for the US dollar. Wow, check that out on the day. Check that out on the day. That's a nice little peek in your probability distribution for where your lows occur on the trading day. I wonder if that will be the low for the day today. I'm going to go ahead and screen cap that so I have a log of it. Discord real quick under the Forex channel. Let's see here. Forex. Paste. DXY. Sorry to hear your Discord's a little broken at the moment. Okie doke. Oh yeah, you guys, so we're about halfway. We're about 30 minutes, 25 minutes into the stream. Been watching so far. Definitely leave a like and subscribe. All that good stuff. Yeah, man, I've been posting in the Discord. Yeah, the Warhammer memes, man. The Warhammer memes are pretty legit. Let's see here. What else is there? Yeah, there's not much else going on. We have a big dump here going on for the dollar. Okay, it's at a likely low. Anyone who's interested in actually getting long the dollar will probably start taking some sort of shot around here. We can go ahead and check out the economic calendar and see what else is left here on the day. I mean, we do have a load. We have a huge pile of a lot more U.S. economic data coming out here over the next, like, 2 hours. You guys got to be insanely careful. And then you have all this Japanese data coming out. Yeesh. Yeah, man. You got to be careful, especially on that retail sales side. See, if that retail sales actually comes out lower, I don't know if that's going to be great for trading on the yen pairs. That's going to probably create some yen volatility today. And then this is way later tonight, like more than 12 hours from now, where you start getting all this stuff. Chinese PMIs. Yeah, this is all sorts of nutty stuff that you want later today. So the rest of the day here is going to get pretty quiet, I would think. Or we're just going to continue seeing drift. We're either going to continue seeing something along these lines, where we just see a little bit of a negative drift going into the end of the day, end of the week. But this is, yeah, you know, if you do have a drift lower, I really don't know how much lower it's going to end up going. Because a lot of people are bullish on the dollar. And they're just looking at this and salivating. They're salivating, man. Yeah, dude, so many people are bullish as all hell. Yeah, 1% move on the Dixie is a huge move for sure. Well, if there's no other charts you guys want me to check out, trading is pretty much now done for the day. And I kind of wholeheartedly mean that. Like, unless you want me to check out, like, I mean, Stellantis had a huge jump up. Ford had a moderate jump up. GM, moderate jump up. So I wonder what happened. I wonder what's different about Stellantis. Nvidia had a huge little recovery, right? Pre-market, it has a gap up today here on the pre-market. Disney, the Rider Strike is still killing it. And Chevron, so I put Chevron up here because Isaac and I were talking yesterday. And dude, yesterday's stream, we were talking about the Australian LNG workers' strike. So a big export out of Australia is light natural gas, and the major company that manages some of the facilities that are actively being striked against right now is Chevron. Now you got Shell and a few other companies in there, but the major company that's getting striked against right now is Chevron. And you can bring up Shell, right? Shell looks like it's doing much better today in comparison to Chevron, right? Chevron looks so choppy and has all these red days. It says gaps up, trades down, gaps up, trades down, gaps up, trades down. Look at this choppy mess. Setting up for next year. Yeah, I don't know what's setting up for next year. Let's go ahead and redo our percent change. Wow, Australia's stock market really reacting well to the last 2-3 days of information. Wow, look at Australia's stock market, and also look where it topped out on the day. Right at that 75% line right there. Neato. And then the UK kind of going sideways. Yeah. So Australia and the UK are actually outperforming the US stock markets right now. Japan took a hit today. And the DAX also took a hit today. And Euro stocks took a hit today. CAC took a hit. Yeah. Not Euro stocks and CAC didn't take huge hits, but yeah, Japan kind of got kicked here. Man. And then you can even see that when you look at like pound yen. Just look how weak that yen has got over today. And yesterday was such a nutty trading day. I mean, just look at this damn indicator. Pops out the top, pops out the bottom. Yeah, man. The indicator was incredibly helpful yesterday for sure. Today, it is... Yeah, you definitely would have been stopped on that trade. Nothing, you know, this is all random guessing where your top's going to come in. Sure, if you want, you could take some, if you were willing to take some shots due to some high probability trades, sure, you know. There's some shots there, but I'd want to see how that Japan data comes out, because remember, we were looking through this economic calendar. And if it'll load, the Japanese data comes out in like 12-ish hours from now. That will be pretty important to look at. So we might just be drifting sideways or against the yen until you get these data points out sometime early tomorrow in the next bar. Okie dokie, guys. I think I've pretty much covered all the nitty gritty, all the important stuff. Real quick, I'm going to check out commodities and how commodities have been performing. Wood and wheat and lumber are all rocketing today. Yeah, wow, look at lumber, jeez. And this is the wood ETF. Man, oh man. How's crude doing? Crude's holding in there, holding its gains from yesterday. And gold popped up to what I think is a likely top on the day. So the top for the day on gold might be in right here, right now. I'm going to take a screenshot of that and pop the Discord commodities chat here. The Plan the Profit Discord. So let's see how gold performs going throughout the day today here. WTI also holding in. Copper, yeah, that was a nice little low on the day, nice little top on the day. And nat gas also nice little range trade setup. How are our yields doing? Wow, yields out the wazoo are doing pretty hard. The European yields are down considerably, but so are the Australian yields, the New Zealand yields, the US yields. Like, oh my god. Yeah, bonds had a nice ride here for sure. For sure. Feeling like a little good. Yeah, I got that that parody song stuck in my head because I posted in the Off Topic channel some the Elton John song "I'm Still Standing Here," but a Space Marine from Warhammer 40k sings it, so I got that stuck in my head. Oh man, good stuff. We have good fun in the Discord. We have some good fun in the Discord. All right, you guys. Going to be the end today, and I'll see you tomorrow. I've been your boss, Joe Boss. This is the Plan the Profit channel. We have streams every single day going over market stuff. I do better research than a lot of people, and I do it a lot faster than a lot of people. So go ahead and subscribe. We'll get you up to date on stuff quick. We'll get you looking at some trading opportunities and risks very, very quickly. And hop on into the Discord if you want to learn more about these indicators and some of the research outlooks that'll be coming out tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. We get outlooks from trading institutions that are free and publicly available to read that give you information on their outlook for the week and the month ahead. We're going to be getting some month ahead outlooks here pretty soon. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow in a bit.